pleasure to be here this morning. I'd like to start off with this statement. It's kind of like, not a disclosure, but during my lecture, I'm going to use the term the universe. The universe. To me, when I use the term the universe, I'm talking about God, infinite spirit, infinite intelligence, whichever spiritual term or meaning is the guiding force in your life. So when you hear me say the universe, in your mind, think of the word that best fits where you are in your understanding of God. It is also understood when I say the universe that I'm also speaking of your spirit loved ones who are always here to guide you and to help you on your path. Do you remember the book, the movie that came out, The Secret? How many of you bought that or bought into that? I did. Bought the CD, bought the book, bought everything there was about it. If there was a coloring book, I would have bought that also. I don't think there was. There might have been. It came out in 2006 as a self-help book based on the films with the same name. And it's based on the law of attraction, one of the many natural laws in spiritualism that we teach. It claims thoughts can change a person's destiny. Thoughts can change a person's destiny, which is true. The Secret tells us that everything one wants or needs can be satisfied by believing in an outcome. Repeatedly thinking about what it is, maintaining positive emotional states as you're trying to manifest this. The law of attraction can change your thoughts, it should change your thoughts, and change your life's direction, if used correctly. Feelings and thoughts that can attract events. Feelings, experiences from the workings of the universe to interactions amongst individuals. Physical, emotional, professional, however you need the law of attraction, it'll work towards your advantage. It states everything you desire can be yours. And I'm a firm believer of this statement. Everything I desire can be mine. I believe that. Is it available to me instantly? No. I'm still waiting to win the lottery. It'll happen one day because I keep thinking it will. Now, I've won little bits, but the millions and millions and millions I'm still waiting for. So I have patience. I have patience. I put out to the universe what I'm looking for. I mentally create the picture of what it looks like. I visualize what the outcome is. Because you have to think it through. I want this. You fill in the blank. Okay? What does that look like? What does that feel like? How does it feel once you obtain it? Thinking it through from the beginning to the end. Sometimes, once we think it through in depth, we decide, not really what I want. So let's rethink it and continue to think it through until you find what exactly it looks like, it feels like, and try and manifest it to you. There have been times when trying to attract something in my life, I was shown at a later date that maybe it wasn't so positive for me to think that way. That's why the universe doesn't rush in to give it to you immediately. Now, I joke a lot about the lottery. Maybe obtaining those tens of millions of dollars is not for my highest good and highest learning. I'd like to think it is. I'd like to try it out a little bit. We all would. But we don't know. But we do know there is a higher force watching over us and guiding us. We just have to believe that's in our best interest. We just have to believe it's in our best interest, that everything we need and want will be there eventually. Once you manifest what you're looking for, like I've said, it changes your current energy. I'm a big believer in energy. Energy around us, people around us. Getting in the car, the energy. Your house, the energy. This congregation, the energy. Everything affects us one way or the other. The energy changes once you manifest and bring in something new. Your energy changes once you let go of other things. You have to keep that balance in your harmony and in your energy. So hopefully the things you're trying to bring into your life to attract by the law of attraction are better than where you currently are. Because there is the possibility you manifest something that will put you at a less desirable space than you were before, because you didn't really think it through. My thoughts. So you always want to be in a better position than you previously were. And what's important, at least in my world, is that you always think it through. If I was to obtain this, whatever it is, will it benefit me in the future? Will it benefit my energy field? Will it benefit me spiritually, emotionally? I believe, like I've said, in the law of attraction. But it's not always so cut and dry as they present it, which is okay. They're presenting something to sell something. But it's the concept we need to believe in. There are many aspects of manifestations or manifesting your wants and desires, along with the other thoughts you're sending into the etheric. Think about it. As you're sitting day to day, you've got a lot of thoughts going through your mind. The etheric, the universe, God, infinite intelligence, is listening. Not to every thought, that would just be redundant. But the things we're trying to manifest, they're listening. So we have to be careful as we're trying to manifest and move forward what we're thinking. Because there are times when we're thinking one thing, then we're thinking something else, and it starts canceling it out. We're human. It's okay. But as long as you know how the law of attraction works, and to keep the other thoughts at bay, I believe your energy, you're attracting more and more of where you want to go and what you want to do. So let's break this down a little bit. You're asking the universe for something you currently don't have. Or you're asking the universe for something of an upgrade. You might have something and you want an upgrade. Just like a computer, you want an upgrade. A relationship, you might want an upgrade. A house, a car, something in your life you'd like an upgrade. And that's okay, I'd like a new model. This model's not working anymore, including myself as a model, or myself as an upgrade. So you're asking the universe for something physically, emotionally, or spiritually. But as you grasp the concept, as you think it out into the future, you might be asking for something you can't afford, if you really think about it. Physically, you can't afford it. Emotionally, you might not be ready for it. Spiritually, it might throw you off your path. But if you're as long as you're thinking it through and thinking of all the possibilities, that's what I do. If I was to receive something, how is it going to affect me? I want to know beforehand. I want to think it through. I want to look at all the different possibilities. It's called overanalyzing, which I do a lot. I overanalyze, but I think it's okay because I'm ultimately going to allow it to happen because I know it's for my higher good and higher understanding. Physically, you might want a new car, a new house, a new boat, a new computer, a new something. You think about, okay, I want this brand, I want this color, I want this many rooms in my house, or something. You have to know what you want. You have to put the details in for the universe to listen and to make its way to you. But just because you physically want something doesn't mean you physically can afford it. If I got a new car, it's a ripple effect. Possibly insurance will go up. Possibly maintenance will go up. Now when you get to my age, insurance doesn't go up, which I'm glad. But you have to think these things out. If you desire something in the universe, okay, here's your new car, here's your new house, here's your new whatever. Well, maybe I didn't think this out. Now there's other expenses associated with it I didn't think about. So take all that into consideration. So knowing that you've got to be a little more detailed, and you say, okay, universe, let's start this process over. I want this brand, this color, this model, but I also would like the money to afford to maintain it. It's taking it to the next step, thinking it through, and making sure all your angles are covered. So when you do receive what you're looking for, you can physically afford it, or spiritually or mentally afford it. Same as if you're asking for a relationship, new relationships, however you define your relationship. The universe needs to know, what are you looking for? Because the relationship, if I use it as an example that you're currently in, you might want something different. You get that something different, but you're no better off than you were before because you didn't really think it all the way through. If we're looking for a partner, let's just say that, using that as an example, I want A, B, and C. I'm very specific. A, B, C. The universe listens. Okay, here it is, A, B, and C. But I didn't ask for D, E, F, G, H, I, There's more things that come along with it. My point is, you need to be specific when you're asking for any changes in your life. You don't want to have a void. You want to be able to replace whatever you're letting go of with something that's for your highest good and highest learning, more positive. Happiness can happen. Happiness will happen. Just think it through. A number of years ago, many years ago, I was offered a job that never came to fruition. I was promised this beautiful job, making lots of money, being able to travel, blah, 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 blah. Yay, that sounded exciting to me. So I visualized what that job was going to look like. I visualized what they said the job was going to look like. I visualized all the aspects of having that job and what it meant to me. The job never happened. it never came through. Was I upset? A little bit, disappointed that it fell through. So I was promised so much. And I put so much energy out there. Years later, I applied for a job, got it, and it had the same aspects of what I wanted previously. Almost identical. I was in the job 5 years and hated every day of it. I manifested exactly what I wanted, and I was miserable. I was miserable. Did not think it through like I should have. Did not think it through. The law of attraction works if you put it to use the right way. So when that job came to an end, and it came to an end, because of the law of attraction, I had already started asking for something new to come my way. And I was lucky enough, if you want to say luck, I was granted through the law of attraction a new job almost immediately. So it worked out. It worked out. The current job I have, I work with the local school board in Polk County. I've been doing the same job for about 5 years. I wanted to change. So within my division, a job opened up. I applied for it. Really wanted it. Didn't get it. I don't understand. The law of attraction is supposed to work in my favor, but it did not happen. I accepted it. I let it go. Kept doing my current job with enthusiasm. I still have a job. I still have a paycheck. Nothing changed. About a year after that, I went into my boss's office and I said to her, "Boss, I need a change. Love what I do. I just need a change." She said, "Remember that other position you applied for?" I said, "Yes." "Well, that person doesn't enjoy that job. Would you like to step into it and we'll just switch people around?" Absolutely. So it happened on the universal time, not on my time. Because our energy, our time, and the universal time is not always in sync. We just have the faith and the knowledge it's going to happen. And we have the patience to know it will happen in the future. The law of attraction does work, but sometimes you just have to step aside and allow the universe to handle the details for you. You cannot force the natural course that needs to take place. Very important to know. You can't force it to happen. Yes, you can force it to happen. Yes, it will happen. And then yes, you'll be unhappy. You should not try and force it. You tell the universe what you want, and then you just allow it to happen and take place. Be patient. You've got to keep a good attitude. You've got to keep positively doing what you're doing. Our prayer for the spiritual healing that we recited this morning has the line, "And I will do my part." And I will do my part. Meaning, you'll keep an open mind for the healing to take place. Same with the law of attraction. You keep an open mind that it's going to happen. You have to do your part, keeping that positive attitude, being open to change, and knowing the right time will make it one day. But let's look at a different way the law of attraction works. Because it works both positive, and since I don't use the word negative, not so positive. How many times have you said, let's just say you're going to a restaurant to eat, and you say to yourself, I really don't like that restaurant because they're always so busy. The staff there is so rude. What are you doing? You're setting yourself up for that restaurant being always full, You're setting yourself up for that restaurant, possibly the rude waitress will always come to you because you're setting it up. This happened just yesterday. My mom called and said, let's go to lunch. I said, sure. As we approached the restaurant, we went at an earlier time thinking people aren't there yet. Well, everyone else thought that too. Okay? So as we approached the restaurant, the parking lot was full. So what's the first thing you think? There's going to be a wait. They're busy. The service is going to be slow. But I said, Mom, let's keep an open mind. We're going to go in. It's just going to work out great. We go in. Yes, there was a couple people ahead of us, but it was only like 10 minutes. And yes, we sat down, and what it was is there were a lot of people drove separately that were all at the same tables. There were 2 or 3 large parties. So going in with a positive attitude, we had a positive experience. Have you ever worked with someone that you felt was very negative? And I'm just going to use the term negative Nancy. No offense if there's any Nancys in the audience. Gosh, I hope negative Nancy doesn't come by my office today. All she does is complain. Well, yeah, negative Nancy's coming to your office today, and she's going to complain because you put it out to the universe. Instead, you put out, today's going to be a great day. Negative Nancy's, there is no such person anymore. That energy doesn't exist. I might have to change my break time. I might have to change my lunch time to avoid that experience, but it will happen. You change your energy. You change your expectations. You change the future because your thoughts create the future. So, all right. So your words create your reality. Your words attract your reality. Do bad things happen? Yes. Is that the law of attraction? I don't think so. Sometimes it just happens. It's a lesson we need to learn. It just happens. Accept it and try to the best of your ability to move on. There's another natural law that I want to tie into this. It's the law of polarity. It tells us that everything exists on a spectrum and that there are infinite number of points between opposing ends. Fear is a degree of less courage. Sadness is a degree of less happiness. They're on a spectrum from here to here. When we have a decision to make in our lives, we need to be careful not to get caught into thinking there's just 2 possibilities. Because there are many possibilities. When you come to the church today, you could have taken many roads to get here. Or maybe a dozen roads. But there are many ways to have gotten here. I chose 417 to avoid the traffic on I-4. That was a choice. There are many different possibilities. So when we have a decision to make in our lives, we need to be careful not to get caught in that there's just the 2. Good judgment is a result of experiences, yet experiences are often the result of what? A bad choice. Not all the time. Ultimately, there is no such thing as failure. It's just poor choices. I have to tell myself that. I just chose poorly today. And that happened. Don't take it personal. Don't take the energy. Just say, hey, it was a bad choice. Let's move on. I read a quote from Thomas Edison when he was developing the light bulb. He said, I've not failed. I've only found 10,000 ways it doesn't work. You know, now we have the light bulbs. He found a way for it to work and improved on it. So don't beat yourself up just because something did not happen the way you wanted it to. You have to find a way for it. You have to understand what doesn't work in order to find out understand what does work. So on the spectrum, the law of polarity, I wanted a new car. I'll be honest, I trade cars in about every 5 years. That's just me. Some people cringe when I say that. That's just me. My ultimate car, I'm going to be honest, it's a Rolls Royce. I don't drive a Rolls Royce, but that's my ultimate dream car. Champagne dreams on a beer budget, they say. So, when I wanted a new car, my niece sells cars. She sells Cadillacs. She said, wait for the end of the year, it was a couple of years ago, when the new models come out. You get a good deal on the old models. Okay, I'm in no hurry, but I want a new car. Typically when I say I want something, I want it now. I don't always take my own advice. I want it now. So I waited a few months, and I said, well, I'm going to go onto the dealer's webpage and look at their trade-in inventory. Passing through, look, you know, all the hundreds of cars they have. And I saw a car that I loved. It wasn't a Cadillac, it wasn't a Rolls Royce, but it was a nice car sitting on their used car inventory list. Called her up, is that car still there? Yes, went down, bought it on the spot. Because, one, the law of attraction, I wanted a new car. The law of attraction, I can't afford a Rolls Royce. So it's that spectrum. Here's what I had, here's the Rolls Royce. I had to negotiate something in between, and there it was. Buying a used car or a trade-in is